What's up everyone, Max Tech Toy Box here, and today I'm offering a different type of video. I'm doing somewhat of a introspective analysis of Google Fit as a workout companion, okay? Over the years I've done a whole bunch of different reviews on fitness trackers, and I will say that a lot of them are more tailored to your fitness enthusiast, right? Somebody who's gonna go run a marathon, they're gonna go run a 5K, maybe if you're someone who likes to lift weights a lot, someone who likes to play basketball, just whatever the case may be, and those trackers are geared more towards them. And taking a step back, looking at fitness companions that are just here to help the layman, help the everyday person become more healthier, right? Because at the end of the day, that's what we're trying to do. We want to have longevity. We want to increase our ability to live longer and healthier lives. And I do think that Google Fit allows that. Interestingly enough, a couple of years ago, Google decided to come up with something called active minutes and heart points based off of recommendations from the American Health Association. Okay, so with those guidelines, Google was able to come up with this algorithm to say, okay, well, based off these guidelines, for some people or for people to stay healthy, this is how many minutes they should be active a day. This is how many minutes their heart needs to be above this ratio or above this threshold. When their heart is above this threshold, they get points. This is the amount of points that they should have, or this is what your target should be for you to live a healthier life. And then of course you can adjust those depending on how much of a fitness enthusiast you are. If you're somebody who works out a whole bunch, then of course you'll raise that level of points. And it's sort of a competition, but it's a competition with yourself, which is good. A lot of the times people don't like engaging in other fitness competitions with other people, just because if they lose, then all of a sudden now it's a psychological effect. They don't feel as good. But this is just a competition with yourself to try and push yourself to be better. So I will say that there's a lot of things that Google Fit does not offer. You don't get VO2 Max, you don't get Epoch, you don't get peak training effect, you're not getting training effect, you're not getting a lot of those things that you would get with other fitness trackers. That's not to say that you won't get something like that in the future, but at least for now, what Google offers, like I said, is a quantifiable way for your dad, your mom, your sister, your brother, your neighbor down the street, your grandmother, even your grandfather, whoever, for them to just improve upon themselves, and for your average consumer. There's actually, so I didn't know this, and when I was doing a review a couple of times back, I forget which device, I think it was the Suunto 7, and I realized that there were quite a bit of different workouts that were offered on Google Fit. I counted, and there were about 105 different workouts that are offered on Google Fit, which is good because you have a whole bunch of fitness trackers that are limited to about 12, if not less. So that's amazing. That's good. I mean, you're talking about things from kayaking, football, treadmill running, outdoor running, yoga. Of course, you have you have your strength training, you have weight training. Actually, within the strength training application, Google has the ability to detect exercises and movements, which is cool. And that's something that I didn't even know. And I've been reviewing these devices for so long, and that's not even something that I knew about. So that's quite, I won't say amazing, but it's good. And that means that it's competing with other people like the Garmin Venue, the Garmin Forerunner 645, the Garmin 645 Music, because they have the ability to detect exercises. And also on the Samsung Galaxy Watch Active 2, you have that ability. You have that built in directly into your Wear OS device. I think that the problem lies is just that it's not something that's marketed because, I mean, like I said, I'm a fitness and tech enthusiast, and after a couple of years, I found out about that. Google just hasn't marketed that. So what that feature basically means is that if you're doing a particular exercise, Google will automatically register that you did bench press. If you're under the strength training exercise, it'll recognize that you did bench press, and then it'll automatically recognize the number of reps you did. Then you can input the weight that you did, and then you can go ahead and set a timer so that you have a rest timer for 30 seconds, a minute and a half. I think it goes up to about 3 minutes, and then after that, it doesn't track it. But again, so that's just specifically for strength training. I haven't tested all 105 different exercises, but that's just an outlook on the in-depth detail that it does provide within some of its fitness exercises, right? Also, one of the biggest things that I like about Google Fit is the ability to connect Bluetooth heart rate monitors to the device. So I will say that this can sometimes be a little tricky, okay? It has worked for me 100% of the time. However, it does sometimes take a little bit longer to register the device. And I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys a little pro tip on what I have done to make it so that it does pick up on my Bluetooth heart rate sensors a little bit quicker. I'm going to show you guys that now. So first things first, I'm gonna go ahead and just show you guys how to connect a Bluetooth sensor to your Wear OS device. So first, I'm gonna tap your screen and wake it up. Sorry, don't have that. Okay, so we'll swipe over here. I'm doing this from behind the camera, guys, sorry. So then we will tap on this. Okay, scroll all the way down to the bottom. We wanna go to settings, okay? Scroll up. And then we tap on Bluetooth sensors. Again, I'm gonna show you guys that so you guys can see. So we scroll all the way down and we go to Bluetooth sensors. Okay. And then, so I have connected, here you guys can see my sensors, UA heart rate monitor. So it says connecting. Now, sometimes, or so that this process goes faster, what I have to do is I have to tap this. Well, there's two different things that we can do. But I like to tap this. I hit remove sensor, yes. And then it'll pop up right there. Then I click it. Add sensor, yes. It says adding. Doing this in real time so you guys can see what it is like. And then you guys see it picked up there. So then I can go right in and start my workout. Now, I have noticed that, let's say if I just ran, like if I'm doing multiple different exercises and I ran or I did something where my heart rate was raised, and then I went into this to connect it to a sensor, it will pick up sooner. So I don't know why, but it seems as if your heart rate is below a threshold, the sensor or the Bluetooth doesn't pick up the sensor as well unless it's elevated. And I've tried this with the ticker, I've tried this with my UA heart rate monitor, and I've tried this with my Polar heart rate monitor too, and it all stands true. So if your heart rate has been elevated for whatever reason, the Bluetooth signal from the watch will connect faster to the heart rate sensor versus if it is lower. And I would say, when I say elevated, I mean anything above 100. If it's below 100, you have to do that little trick that I just showed you guys, and that does allow the best sort of connection. Quick update. So after that initial pairing of your Bluetooth sensor to the watch itself, you do not have to continue to go to Bluetooth sensors to reconnect. Okay, so after that initial pairing, if you just wear your Bluetooth sensor and you start a workout, it will automatically pick up on the fact that that Bluetooth sensor is emitting a signal and that increased heart rate, and then it will connect. That makes sense as to why I said before, when I would delete the Bluetooth sensor and then re-add it after I've done a workout or after my heart rate has gone above 100, it would show up quicker. And I think it has something to do with the fact that once your heart rate is above that threshold, it's not that the Bluetooth sensor emits a higher signal, but for whatever reason, I guess Google Wear OS is more apt to pick up on that signal. So pretty cool. Just very weird. And I wish that would be more front facing and that Google at least advertised that. But just to make sure I'm getting that point across, you do not have to continue to go to Bluetooth sensors to delete and then re-add the sensor. You pair it once, and then the next time you go to a workout, as long as you're wearing that Bluetooth heart rate monitor, it will automatically pick up on that signal. Another feature that Google Fit allows is the auto tracking of workouts, okay? And again, I didn't know this either, but so let's say if I was to leave my phone at home, I'll give you two different scenarios. Let's say if I leave my phone at home and I go for a run, wake up in the morning, I go for a run, and I forget to start the workout from my wrist, okay? By the time I get back home, there will be a new workout that has been created after a couple of minutes after my watch syncs up with my phone saying morning run, okay? It will automatically track that exercise, okay? And it will not be the most accurate information gathered though. It won't pop up on your wrist while you're running if you're running for 5 miles or 3 miles, not like the way that it does with the Samsung Galaxy Watch Active 2 or even with Garmin slow devices. Because with those devices, when a workout is not tracked after you're running for about 5 minutes, or if it notices that you're moving at a faster pace, it will pop up on your wrist. It'll show you metrics like your heart rate. It'll show you distance traveled and time. This does not do that. All it will do is after you do that run, you come home, you will now have a new workout logged on Google Fit application, and it will give you an average for what your heart rate was during that exercise, It'll give you a rough estimate of distance traveled and also a rough estimate of your pace and the time spent. And it'll also pop up on a little map. Okay, that stands true for running and walking. I have not tried cycling yet. Nice that it offers that feature. Not the best if we're comparing it to other fitness trackers at all, because you'd be able to get more realistic data with the other two that I referenced. Now, a second scenario is, let's say if I didn't even have my watch, let's say if I had just the phone and I went for a walk or some sort of run. The same thing would happen because Google is using your GPS signal from the phone, and it knows that you're moving and it knows that you did a certain amount of steps, and it will automatically load that information up into the application, which is cool. Of course, you will not have the ability to have any information about heart rate data though. Now, something that I do think that needs to be fixed on Google's end is you can start and stop workouts from your phone, of course, from your watch, whatever Wear OS device you have. But on the Wear OS device, you can connect a Bluetooth Bluetooth heart rate monitor. But on the phone, you can't, which is a little weird and a little strange. I think that they need to add that ability, especially because your phone is going to probably give you a longer signal, right, with the Bluetooth heart rate monitoring, and it just seems more convenient. I don't know if that's a ploy to get more Wear OS devices on people's wrists or what, but I don't think so, because unfortunately, Google is a data prioritized company, meaning if they can get as much data as possible, then they're going to do that. So I'm not sure why they do not have the ability to connect a Bluetooth heart rate monitor directly to your phone. So overall, again, I do think that Google Fit is a pretty good fitness companion for what all it offers. You're talking about over 105 different exercises, workouts being able to be tracked, automatic fitness tracking or activity tracking for runs and walks. I believe cycling as well, but I've not verified that. Being able to connect a Bluetooth heart rate monitor to the application, being able to automatically detect different exercises and fairly accurately too, like for push-ups and abdominal crunches and squats and things of that nature, automatically detecting those exercises and knowing what you're doing. That's pretty cool, and actually pretty thorough in being able to log your weight, being able to do all of the different sets and whatnot. So it's cool that they have that ability to do that. And then not to mention, again, at the forefront, or what's more important, the longevity and the being able to track what your life is like now in comparison to what it can be in the future, because you're living a more healthier lifestyle. It also partners with a plethora of other applications, like MyFitnessPal, I think LifeSum, Garmin Connect, a whole bunch. There's a ton of different applications that connects directly or intertwines directly with Google Fit. And then from the Google Fit application, I'll show you guys what that looks like. You guys, of course, have the three main things that it shows here are your fitness, so your steps rather, right? It'll show you your heart rate for what it was or what it's been for the day, and it'll show your weight on the bottom. And then all the way up top, it'll give you, your heart rate, I think it's your heart points, and then your move minutes, okay? And again, they sort of bit the little design with Apple because of the circular design, but it is what it is. And then if you scroll over, you'll see the journal aspect, and this will just be all of the different workouts that have been logged. And these different workouts will be things like, let's say if you went walking for 5 or 10 minutes, that'll pop up and it'll show you your information for how long you were walking for. It'll give you a little map of what that looked like as well. So this is Max Tech Toy Box. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you guys think about this as well. Like I said, it's not that I feel like I've been bashing Google Fit before, but I just don't think I gave it a fair chance or a fair shot at being a true fitness tracker. And I really do think that it is a pretty good fitness tracker that we need to take seriously. Another quick update. Something else that I failed to mention was the fact that Google Fit does not have built-in sleep tracking. You can use SleepAs Android, which is a third-party application, so that you can get somewhat accurate sleep tracking information. But to be a better fitness companion, I do think that this is something that should be built into Google Fit, just so that it's more thorough and accurate fitness tracking. So, until you guys see me again, peace.